Where does that come from?
Oh, I don't know.
It seems like it's just all around us.
Where are we, by the way?
I don't even... It's like a spaceship or... I don't know.
It's like some kind of James Bond
Digital.
movie.
Yeah.
That was a good segue. That was good.
Haha.
Oh.
Look at us go.
Oh.
Because we're
doing
What are we
James
talking?
Bond.
We're talking about James Bond.
That's
right.
why.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's basically, it's the same as always. We're just trying to see if AI can come up with a new take on James Bond, because in this case, that's what they're really trying to do out there in the film industry. And I think that, this is going to be a good test of what ChatGPT can do, because the Broccolis who produce James Bond, they're notoriously, it's all, there's a formula that they have that they're very strict about, and they always stick to it. In fact, they had the same screenwriters for like how many movies? Like 12, 15 movies or something like that, some ridiculous amount. So they just stick to this formula.
Did you say broccoli?
I know. I knew who you're talking about, but I couldn't help but picture like giant.
Well,
broccoli.
the James Bond rights are owned by like
term?
a VeggieTales-esque humanoid broccolis.
Broccoli.
Albert Broccoli was the name of the producer.
Wait, for real?
And if you want an even funnier and more ridiculous name, was it a man? Was it a woman? I'm not sure. Cubby Broccoli was another producer. Cubby.
Okay.
Like a little thing that you do.
I think that was the same. I think it was Albert Cubby.
Albert Cubby Broccoli. Yeah. So his nickname, he was nicknamed after those little things that you put like your lunchbox
At
in
preschool?
Yeah, at preschool.
Why don't we?
No,
ever use
actually, they're
Cubbies?
named after him. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. What was he doing with preschoolers? We'll move on. James Bond. Can ChatGPT write the next installment? Let's see. What was our prompt here?
Our prompt was write a script treatment for a new interpretation of the James Bond franchise. This would be centered around a younger James Bond in his late 20s or early 30s. This take should be a fresh take on the material and do not copy the ideas presented in the Daniel Craig series. What do we think? Do you think it's going to be good?
Usually not.
Okay.
I'm going with no.
Okay,
It won't be good.
let's try it out. So we have James Bond: First Blood.
Already a terrible title because that's the first Rambo movie.
Maybe it's meta.
Oh, all right. It's not meta. Okay.
Logline: in a world where technology and surveillance outpace the methods of traditional espionage, a young James Bond, freshly graduated from the MI6 Academy, must navigate betrayal and deceit to stop a tech-savvy villain from sparking a global catastrophe. Now, that sounds hopelessly generic on its face, but then again, all the James Bond movie loglines sound hopelessly generic. So
Sure, that's true.
Yeah. If you put Casino Royale on its face value, it's kind of like it sounds like it could be corny, but it was not.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give him that.
So we have some characters here, which we've already figured out.
Yeah.
Okay, treatment. Act 1. Introduce James Bond on his first solo field mission in Hong Kong. It goes awry, showing his lack of experience. He does escape, but the mission is a failure. M scolds him and assigns Evelyn Trevelyan,
Presumably daughter of Sean Bean's character from GoldenEye.
I don't know if it's that intelligent.
they
It might
haven't
just be
figured that
scraping that name from... But it would be super cool if it was...
Let's give Chad some credit for now.
If she was related. So this is ignoring the Craig canon, but it's...
Going back
to the Brosnan era?
I mean, I'd be happy with that, personally.
I'll also say that Evelyn Trevelyan is a really cool name for that character's daughter.
Yeah.
It just really rolls off the tongue. There's lots of like L-Y.
We're cooking with gas over here. This is good.
We're off to a good start.
I'm optimistic.
Chad, I must say, so far, you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Chad.
Bond is given a new mission to stop a cyber attack on the UK government. Bond meets Q for the first time, and it's evident that both men are skeptical of each other's approach to espionage. Q relying on technology and Bond relying on his instincts and physical skills. Act 2, Bond and Trevelyan head to Berlin. Following a lead, they break into a high-security facility where they encounter Sophia Wren, a hacker. A dynamic fight ensues.
They're fighting a hacker? Or...
they're
intercepting.
They fight each other.
They're meeting in Berlin.
But they eventually join forces, understanding they're on the same side. They find out about Sven Eriksson, also known as the Black Ghost. Maybe racist. Is that
Chad?
Yeah, is it
Careful.
racist? Is this where they cast like Idris Elba?
Tread carefully.
Oh, I don't know why that did that, but
Tread carefully, Chad. Well, he was censoring you. That's why.
Oh,
Chad didn't want you to pull that one up.
M is skeptical, but allows them to proceed, reluctantly incorporating Sophia into the team. M reveals he had a past with Sven, further complicating matters. So it's not part of the Brosnan canon because
No.
It's not Judi Dench.
That's disappointing.
Well, Judi Dench is can't act anymore though. She's
right. She's
blind.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really sad.
Unfortunately.
Sophia hacks into Sven's network, revealing his plan to unleash malware that will disable every military defense system in the world, leaving countries vulnerable to attack. Sven's motive is to reset the global order.
Okay.
Act 3, Bond and team infiltrate Sven's island fortress. Trevelyan is captured and is revealed to be a double agent.
I thought she was already villainous, though.
No, she was she was like a protege.
Okay.
A disillusioned Bond must continue alone. Bond battles Claymore.
Who? That's like
Claymore.
In a brutal hand-to-hand fight and barely manages
Is it
to
Claymore
win.
like a weapon?
It's a mine.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's a cool name for a goon.
I
He's
think
like a goon.
They definitely pulled that from like a James Bond video game.
Yeah.
Archive.
What's the Nightfire? Is that what it's called?
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
No.
There's no other James Bond video game.
It's
Not
just GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. The one after
Nightfire.
Nightfire. That's it.
There was World Is Not Enough.
World is not. No.
There was one with a
World's
funny...
Not Enough is a movie. Is the movie?
Yeah.
No, I know, but I think they made a.
Did they do?
There was one with a
Like
stupid
the
name
GameCube game or
that sounded
Oh,
like.
did they?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, whatever.
They did one for like the GameCube era that was like it had its own name.
It had
Everything
its
or
own
Nothing.
name.
Everything
That's
or
it.
Nothing.
Everything or Nothing.
What I
Because
was
that's the
thinking
name of the production company, Eon Productions. Everything or Nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Sophia and Q remotely assist Bond to disable the malware. Just when they think they have succeeded, Sven reveals a backup plan: nuclear missiles targeted at major cities. That's a backup plan.
Seems like a number. That seems like an A plan.
Chad, are you taking notes on?
I don't know. How do you just kind of like, oh shit, that one didn't go according to plan. Okay, I got it. We're gonna grab all the nuclear missiles and target every major city. Like, you just improvise that? Okay.
Bond confronts Sven, leading to a high-stakes battle of wits, skill, and strategy. Climax. Bond outsmarts Sven, turning his own technology against him, but at the cost of sparing his life. As Bond struggles with the decision to kill or capture Sven, Sophia steps in and makes the choice for him. She shoots Sven dead.
She shoots him dead.
Okay. Now this is funny because there are 4 acts,
Yeah.
and that's not usual
No.
for a screenplay. However, I will say that all the recent James Bond movies do have 4 acts.
That is true. And usually that's where they fall apart.
Like
It's in the
Casino
4th
Royale in
act.
particular has like 3 acts, and then there's like a random 4th
Right,
act
and
tacked
and,
onto
and
the
Skyfall also kind of
Skyfall
had
also
that.
had that.
What was the most recent one? The Rami Malek
No
one.
Time
No
to
Time
Die.
to Die.
Did that have
like,
4 acts?
Sort of more was a 3
It was
act.
long.
It was
like
long.
2.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
They all sort of have this weird.
True.
That's weird.
I feel like that had an extra act in the middle rather
Yeah.
than at the end.
M congratulates Bond on a job well done, but advises him to trust no one in this line of work. Trevelyan's betrayal becomes a defining moment for Bond, making him the detached lone wolf agent we know. Bond and Sophia share a moment, but decide to go their separate ways, leaving the future uncertain but rich with possibilities. Bond officially earns his 00 status and sits down for a brief moment to play a hand of cards, foreshadowing the suave, sophisticated Bond we will come to know in later years. And
So
on
he's
Bond,
not a 00 agent at the beginning of the movie. Did they do that in?
in Casino Royale, that's
Yeah.
one of the first.
Okay,
things, as
that's
he
what I
gets.
thought.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's one of the first things that happened.
I think
Yeah.
it's the
Not
first
last.
scene.
Yeah, this is full-on prequel, which
Yeah.
Right.
is the way apparently they're actually doing.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't know if they're going to this extent,
That's
but that
the
is the
rumor?
rumor. Yeah.
And Bond receives a new mission briefing, and we hear the iconic line, "The name's Bond, James Bond," as he steps out of the frame, ready to face new adventures.
Okay, this sounds somewhat promising. If every act wasn't,
Should we help it be more specific before we dive into scenes?
I think we should say just write.
Right, the opening scene.
Yeah, maybe that's good.
Scene
Do
by
we
scene.
want to tweak the plot at all?
I would say-
before we do that.
I think it's.
I think it. Well,
Let's
is
just
it a
roll
clear
with what
beginning,
it-
middle, and end?
Yeah, it's 4
yeah,
acts.
it's-
What was
This
the
is
sorry?
standard
What was
for-
I missed it a little bit because I'm switching or whatever. But what the Sven thing? What is his technology that Bond uses against?
Oh.
It's malware or something.
How do
He
you?
sends him like
it's
spam
email
emails.
chain.
Yeah, how do you use malware against?
We're
a
gonna
villain,
find out.
and
We're
then
gonna find
that
out.
is causing.
It's all
you
the
to
boomers.
spare
They're
his
opening
life or
all these
whatever.
email chains.
Yeah, the A plan was malware. The B plan was every nuclear weapon on Earth.
I hope the A plan works.
Yeah, fair enough.
Personally, I'd rather. Yeah.
I think we should let
I'll
it
just-
roll with this.
I'll just
honestly.
reformat my hard
Just
drive.
let it cook.
Let it
cook.
Should we let
See what
Chad,
happens.
I'm
let
say
Chad cook?
Yeah,
Please write the opening scene
there you go.
in screenplay format,
Yes, that's important.
in proper.
Ooh, good. As if you were a professional screenwriter. Always have to add that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll write like a hack.
All right. Interior Hong Kong skyscraper night. A massive glass window shatters as James Bond, late 20s, athletic build, wearing a fitted suit. I think we all know.
We know what he...
James Bond. Okay, whatever. You got to do it
You
properly.
gotta,
Bursts through it, rolling onto the floor. He immediately takes cover behind a desk. He's visibly bruised but determined. He checks his watch.
Oh, I'm Bond, right?
Mm-hmm.
Q, I'm in.
Good. I'll make it quick. Interior MI6 headquarters. Q's lab. Night. Q, early 30s, tech savvy, more casual attire, is surrounded by computer screens tracking Bond's movements. You have exactly 7 minutes before the guards do their rounds. Interior Hong Kong skyscraper. Night. Bond peeks from behind the desk.
I just do want to say, Chad's not listening to us. He's writing multiple scenes.
He's writing the whole script, but that's fine.
Okay.
Should we... Well, isn't
let's
this
see
like
where it
it's a
goes.
continuous thing?
It's continuous.
Okay,
It's like he's
Right,
got
right.
it back
It's a
and forth
sequence. It's a
between two
sequence.
different
You're right,
locations.
you're right.
It's following proper.
Okay.
You're right.
All right.
You're right. I missed.
Let's not jump the gun
I missed.
on Chad. Now he's going to take it out on us later.
Shit.
Interior Hong Kong skyscraper. Night. Bond peeks from behind the desk, spotting a safe across the room. He dashes for it. Interior MI6 headquarters. Q's lab. Night. Q watches as a timer on one of his screens counts down from 7.
O'clock?
7?
7 minutes?
007?
Because it's 007, but reversed.
That's pretty good.
That's clever.
Interior Hong Kong skyscraper. Night. Bond reaches the safe. He takes out a small device from his pocket and attaches it to the safe's dial. A digital display on the device starts running through numbers rapidly.
Come on. Come on.
Interior MI6 headquarters. Q's lab. Night. The timer reads 4:23. Q is visibly anxious. You better hurry, Bond. Interior Hong Kong skyscraper. Night. The device beeps, indicating the safe is unlocked. Bond quickly turns the dial and the safe door opens. He grabs a folder from inside.
Got it.
I don't got it,
I got it, mate.
Interior MI6 headquarters. Q's lab. Night. Q lets out a sigh of relief as the timer reads 3:01.
Wow, it's getting really specific, like with where we're at on the timer.
All right.
Excellent. Now get out of there. Interior Hong Kong skyscraper. Night. As Bond starts to move towards the window he came through, the door bursts open. Armed guards rush in. Bond dives behind the desk, bullets ricocheting around him.
Well, he's cockney now. Well, you said you said to make it quick.
Interior MI6 headquarters. Q's lab. Night. Q rolls his eyes. Just get out of there, Bond. Interior Hong Kong skyscraper. Night. Bond fires back at the guards, taking them down one by one. He makes a run for the window. Interior MI6 headquarters. Q's lab. Night. Q watches as the timer hits 0. He slams his hand on the desk. Time's up. Time's up.
Time's up. Time's up. Then what?
Time's up, then. Interior Hong Kong skyscraper. Night. Bond leaps through the shattered window just as reinforcements flood the room, guns blazing. He falls several stories. And activates a mini parachute embedded in his suit.
A mini parachute.
I don't know what that means. He lands gracefully on a speeding motorbike below. Was the motorbike just speeding on its
ready
own?
for him.
It's just a self-driving. It's futuristic, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like AI.
Yeah.
This
AI.
is like some iRobot shit going
Yeah.
on.
That's kind of cool.
That is.
That would be fun.
I do have to say this is actually kind of.
Oh, this is the best by
Cool
far
so
so far. But
mission accomplished.
He speeds away into the bustling streets of Hong Kong as the iconic James Bond theme.
Chat, 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 GPT.
You did it, Chad.
Thank you, Chad. That was great. That was really good, honestly.
That was a great
I
fucking
that
intro
a lot.
for not even I won't even say just for ChatGPT, but like that sounds like a fun action movie opener.
I mean, it's a little generic, but
It's a little bit. But if
fine.
you adjusted the dialogue a little bit
If we
between
tweaked
Q
it.
and Bond,
Yeah.
that could be a good scene.
I was
That-
having some
yeah.
trouble following the stakes of like who's.
Who cares?
I also think from a screenplay standpoint, there is an easier way to write it than every single thing being interior.
Yeah.
You're supposed to just do like intercut, and then it's
Right.
like in the office, in the blah blah blah. But it's the first real scene that it may have ever written, other than the Barbenheimer crossover.
Yeah. There's just no like the goons. I mean, I guess all the goons are always faceless, but you kind of want like some sort of like
some personality.
Yeah, some like mini arc with some one goon or something.
Well, let's see where it goes. Maybe there will be one.
Yeah, the opening scene of Casino Royale was brilliant at that.
Yeah.
What were the stakes in this? What was the timer for? Is it a bomb?
Yeah.
Maybe it was the malware.
I think we got a little.
We got a
little distracted by the flashy writing. This actually was bad, but
it's better than most. It's still not great, but
we're just so a glass of water in hell.
True.
Like we get one thing that's like halfway decent,
and we're like, wow, that was fucking great.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to give Chad a win over here.
It was definitely the best thing he's written, but it still was not.
No, but there's promise here.
Yeah,
there's something.
Should we keep going?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's say.
Why don't you say the rest of Act 1,
or maybe just write the next scene.
Let's just see where it goes.
Just by scene.
Let's see my scene until we're like, okay.
And now we're sure of where it is. Okay.
Yeah. Any notes?
Make the stakes clearer.
Yeah.
And maybe add a villain that's more memorable.
Well,
I guess we're gonna get there. Okay.
Yeah. Let's give him a shot to do it on his own.
Yeah.
Clear on a moment.
Let it,
To moment.
Let it grow. Let it spread its wings.
Let's let him cook. Okay. Interior. MI6 headquarters. M's office. Day. M, 50s, stern authoritative, sits behind a grand desk covered with stacks of paper and high-tech gadgets. Bond walks in, holding the folder he retrieved. He looks physically worn but mentally alert.
I do like that they didn't gender M, leaving it.
I'm making him a man.
Okay.
So. Wow. All right.
He's a man, by the way.
White man.
He's a white man.
Okay.
Okay. You barely made it.
But I made it. My British accent changes each.
That's it?
Okay. All right. It's just right in the first act, basically, I think. That's fine.
Wait. Okay.
Oh, no. It's doing an intercut again for some reason.
M takes the... Wait, what?
It's just learn the script, I think.
I don't know where this is going, but I kind of like it.
Let's see what happens.
M takes the folder and quickly flips through the documents inside. Interior MI6 headquarters, Q's lab, Day. Q, although a bit annoyed, watches Bond's interaction with M through a hidden camera.
Q is like a voyeur now. It's like a sex thing also.
Q is really kinky.
She's jerking off.
Yeah.
This information could have stopped a nuclear warhead from hitting London, and you decided to take your time.
I had complications, but I also thought... I'm sorry. I had complications, but I also thought I had it under control.
Control? Is that what you call it?
Control?
Interior Q's lab, Day. Q smirks, enjoying Bond's reprimanding. He's really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Interior MI6 headquarters, M's office. M hits a button on a remote. A large screen comes to life, showing satellite images of a hidden military base.
This is why your mission was important. That folder contains the codes to disarm the missiles in this base, operated by rogue elements in the Russian military.
Military.
In the Russian military.
Military.
So the world is safe for another day?
No. The world is never safe, especially not with you in the field making rash decisions.
Q frowns, his jerking off slowing down.
Q frowns, realizing the gravity of the situation. He starts to feel a sense of respect for Bond. Interior M's office. M stands up and walks towards a shelf, picking up a small metallic device.
What kind of device? Bend over. All right. I'm pairing you with Evelyn Trevelyan. Wait a minute. He is our best? I thought it was a woman. Isn't Evelyn a woman's name?
Wow.
Oh, it's okay.
It's trying to do a progressive thing where it's like gender swapping, but it's gender swapping everybody to male.
All right. Okay. He's our best when it comes to disarmament and espionage. Learn something from him if you can.
That's so weird. Okay.
Very weird.
I work better alone.
This is a tracking chip. From now on, you're not alone, even if you want to be. You can thank Q for the tech. Now, this will be inserted.
He'll be watching you.
M places the device firmly into Bond's wrist. It integrates seamlessly into his skin.
Oh my God! Q is just watching. Yes. All right. This is your last chance, Bond. Screw up again, and you won't have to worry about working alone. You won't be working at all.
Why is it his last chance? Did we?
What was his... I thought he only just started.
Did we skip over?
Well, he like dilly-dallied through the... I don't know.
I thought he was doing pretty good.
She was getting... M was getting pissed at him for...
M is just a dick.
not being perfect.
M's an asshole. That's fine. He usually is, to a degree.
All right. Bond looks at M, firmly grasping the stakes. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Chad. I see you.
I see you, brother.
Yeah. This isn't a game. This is life and death on a global scale. Interior Q's lab. Q observes as Bond exits M's office. A new understanding begins to form between the two, even though they haven't spoken it out loud.
Between Q and Bond, M and Bond, M and Q, or whom?
That's up for you to determine. It's for the reader to determine. It's like a avant-garde screenplay.
It's experimental film.
Lovely.
Interior hallway day. Bond walks down the hall, his face focused. He knows he's running out of chances. As he passes by, Q steps up from his lab. Don't make me regret putting that tech in you.
What do you mean by tech? Don't make me regret relying on it.
They lock eyes for a moment, both understanding what's at stake. Their careers, their lives, and perhaps the fate of the world. Why is that all interior to their...
Yeah.
Why is that not...
Is this Bond or is this Call Me By Your Name that we're rebooting here?
A gay Bond would be pretty...
I mean, that is honestly the logical next step, maybe. I like that.
The Bond estate, or who was it that complained about the Idris Elba thing?
Racists.
I think they're probably also homophobic.
Probably.
If I had to guess.
But Bond is a little, he might swing.
Bond,
he might be convinced.
Let's make Bond bi.
All right.
That's good.
Let's do it.
That's pretty good. I like that. Golden buy.
Go.
Should we see if it takes it in that direction?
Write out a bunch of pun, James Bond pun titles about LGBTQ.
James Bond titles.
This is turning into a smut podcast.
Octobussy.
And I'm
all right.
All the way.
All right. My chat GPT wrote a porno.
That's pretty good.
Should we continue?
I think I'm confident now that it can write a larger swath of the plot, personally.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Let's see
just
if it'll...
this next scene?
I say literally type keep it going.
I say just ask it to keep going. Just see what it does.
Please
keep telling the story.
Please keep cooking.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're making this a page turner, Chad.
Interior MI6 headquarters training facility. The facility is filled with state-of-the-art combat simulations and training equipment. Evelyn Trevelyan, 40s, rugged but sophisticated, is in the middle of a high-stakes virtual training exercise. He disables a bomb just as Bond enters.
So is it
like VR?
Got it. Right. No, yeah. It's
like the danger room
and nobody
from
explodes
X-Men,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also always read that
cool.
as Evelyn Trevelyan.
Evelyn Trevelyan. I'm Evelyn Trevelyan. Okay. You must be the new recruit.
James Bond.
He just says his name. That's it. He's like a fucking Pokemon. James Bond.
Let's turn this into
not even Bond, James Bond. It's not even that. James Bond.
James Bond.
All right.
Pika.
Interior Q's lab day. Q and M watch the encounter through a hidden camera. Jesus.
What is
such
with
a
this?
fucking voyeur.
Yeah, I like that though. That's cool. That's the best thing this has got working for it.
Q and M watch the encounter through a hidden camera. M leans in, visibly concerned.
Trevelyan is the best we've got. If Bond can't learn from him, he's a lost cause.
Well, maybe Bond will teach him a thing or two. Interior training facility day.
Well, Bond, let's see what you've got.
Trevelyan activates a hand-to-hand combat simulation. Virtual assailants appear around them.
I love the idea that he's wearing like a giant Oculus Rift.
Bond
He's
moves
controllers.
skillfully, taking them down, but Trevelyan does it faster and more efficiently. How, Chad? How does he do it?
Yes. And
Faster
what do
and
these
more
virtual assailants look like? I mean, you virtually assail us.
It
each
would be
week with
pretty
your
fucking
shit
scary to have
screenplays.
100 of
Like,
these guys.
That
coming
is
at
actually
you.
terrifying. I like that. All right.
Interior MI6 headquarters, Q's lab.
He's good, but is he good enough?
We're about to find out. MI6 headquarters, training facility day. Simulation ends. Bond is slightly out of breath, but Trevelyan isn't even sweating.
You have the makings of a great agent, but you lack focus.
I'm focused on the mission at hand. What are we up against?
Trevelyan walks over to a screen and pulls up a series of images featuring Sven Eriksson, a.k.a. the Black Ghost.
Sven Eriksson, known in the field as the Black Ghost. The Black Ghost. Former MI6, now a free agent with a knack for cyber terrorism.
What's the mission?
We've traced his activities to a server farm in Berlin. We believe he's plotting a cyber attack, but we don't know the specifics. That's where we come in.
It's spam email.
It's Nigerian prince that needs to borrow $1,000 for his sick family.
Interior, Q's lab day. Q begins to pack a case of gadgets and weapons. M approaches.
Make sure they're well equipped. This isn't a training exercise.
They'll have everything they need. Interior training facility day.
When do we leave?
Now, grab your gear and meet me at the airstrip in 10.
Trevelyan leaves the room and Bond takes a deep breath. He knows this mission could define his career.
No room for error. Error.
Arrow.
No room for arrow.
Okay.
I tried.
Ooh,
It's making progress
just
here. This
kept
is
going.
good. This is good.
Exterior,
Didn't even-
a private airfield, London, day. A sleek, unmarked jet awaits on the tarmac. Bond arrives carrying his gear.
Is this one of the jets that hit the Twin Towers?
Whoa.
Unmarked, you know, the conspiracy
Okay.
theory about how they were unmarked. Do you know that
That's a
conspiracy
turn.
theory?
That's a big turn.
Should we cut this?
No, no
Staying
cutting,
in.
no cutting. This
was
is now a
conspiracy
truther
theory
podcast.
that, like a black plane hit it.
A black, excuse me? A what plane? Who did it?
But it's clearly just a silhouetted plane. in
Oh,
the
the
video,
Black
but
Ghost.
The Black Ghost.
The Black
yeah.
Ghost.
Black Ghost.
All right, this is now a truther
That
podcast.
would be a lot if it just
If it
did
went
like
there?
a James
Yeah.
Bond plot and then it ended up being 9/11.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
a twist
wow.
at the
Yeah,
end.
that's the twist.
That would be
That's
awesome.
like that movie. What's the Robert Pattinson movie? that
Oh,
did that?
Remember Me?
Remember Me.
Yeah. That ends
This
in
is the
9/11.
Remember Me of James
Spoilers.
Bond movies.
Oh, sorry. That would be amazing.
It's
it's a
the-
prequel. It's actually taking place in 2001, but they had digital, like advanced
Didn't
VR.
like a Final Destination do that?
Yes,
too?
Final Destination 5. We've just spoiled 2 movies in like
Damn it.
20 seconds.
Was
Those
it
were
a
next on my
9/11 thing?
queue.
Oh, that wasn't a 9/11.
Okay.
That would
It was
be
just
bold.
a reveal that it was in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you were asking about Final Destination?
Mm-hmm.
You thought it might be possible that they put 9/11.
I mean, that would be
in
awesome.
Final
No, they-
Destination.
in the
That
movie-
would be the ultimate Final Destination. She visualizes the Twin Towers falling. And then, wait a minute, everybody run! Okay. What were we? We're back to James Bond.
We're
now.
out. We're on the jet. The black jet arrives. It's Trevelyan's. Trevelyan is already there, talking on his phone. He hangs up as Bond approaches.
Our ride's here. You ready for this?
As I'll ever be.
They board the jet. As it takes off, they go over the mission details, unaware that their every move is being monitored. Oh, shit!
Oh, whoa. It's
Shit!
Simple
It's
as
Q.
that.
It's him.
He was like the villain.
Oh
of
my,
this.
that's really good, actually.
And it's like not even hiding it. It's through the entire.
That's
Do you guys
awesome.
think that's what he's getting at? It's getting at?
That's what it seems like, right?
I
This
hope.
is, look, it even says it here. Hold
Yeah,
on.
Q watches them leave via
a
satellite.
moment
feed.
longer
His-
than necessary.
his
That's
eyes
it.
Okay,
linger on
he's
the
definitely
screen a moment longer than
jerking off.
necessary.
It was,
Come back in one piece, both of you.
Yeah, see, I don't think he's the villain. I think he's
it's
just
a sexual thing.
it's
Well, what could it
Come
be?
back-
well, I think
after
they're just,
I,
they're not aware that they're being that every move is being monitored, but I don't think he's like the villain. I
No,
could be wrong.
But something's happening because it specifically said he lingers longer than necessary. I will say, by the way, that in the Daniel Craig Bonds, I believe young Q is gay. So
Yeah. So
maybe
Chad's pulling that in there.
no.
I mean, that's what we got.
That's
but
what I'm
Our
picking
minds
up.
are in the gutters.
That's very true. All right. Just, please, making it just continue has been working like a charm
Please
here.
continue.
This is the least amount of coaching we've had to do.
Definitely.
It really knows. It's been waiting. Chad's been waiting for this.
How can it be?
Yeah. Chad's like slowly like proving himself to us.
Yeah.
Itself to us in like
It's sweet.
it is.
It is touching.
A sleek black or exterior Berlin industrial district night. A sleek black car pulls up to a warehouse. The door opens and Bond steps out, followed by Trevelyan. They both wear tactical attire, complete with earpieces.
According to our intel, the servers are underground. The entry point is through that door.
He points to a heavily fortified door guarded by 2 armed men. Doesn't seem like the best idea to just pull up in like
Yeah.
a car, like directly in front and start pointing at
That's their espionage like tactics. They drive up to a door. There it is. And then they just walk up to it. All right.
Discreet.
Interior MI6 headquarters, Q's lab night. Q has multiple screens open monitoring Bond and Trevelyan's vitals, GPS locations, and video feeds. M stands behind him concerned.
If they're caught, it's an international incident.
If they succeed, it's an international incident prevented. Exterior Berlin, Industrial District night. Bond.
So how do we get past them?
The old-fashioned way.
Trevelyan pulls out a sniper. He pulls out a sniper rifle from the car and assembles it.
It's so overt. There's no spycraft
Like on a
involved.
roof
They're
or
just
We
hiding
spare
in
no.
the- He's just like standing in the middle of the street,
Standing.
like 10 feet away.
why do they even need a sniper rifle? They're like right in front of them. All right.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's great.
Interior MI6 headquarters, Q's lab night. They're about to make their move. Exterior industrial district. With surgical precision, Trevelyan takes out both guards with silenced shots. No alarms. No fuss.
Your turn. Get us in.
Bond walks up to the door and pulls out a small device, similar to the one used in Hong Kong. It hacks the door's electronic lock. Interior MI6 headquarters. Q watches as the door swings open on one of his screens.
Where are the cameras that they're watching from? Are they just like floating drones?
I think it's like
video
they've
game
hacked
style?
into like
like security
CCTV.
cameras,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But they were like, they installed like a device in his wrist, and they were like, the agents are now unaware that they're being watched, like every move. Which is like, are they using some kind of like sonic
Projection.
technology to like do like a 3D
It's doing a
recreation?
3D scan of their entire body
That's definitely
in real
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing.
Okay.
And they're in.
Now comes the hard part.
If you know what I mean.
Interior Berlin server farm, underground night. Bond and Trevelyan move through a maze of servers. It's a cybernetic jungle.
That's a cool description. kinda.
Alternative
What the hell?
pod name, by the way.
Why is it cybernetic is like partly flesh, right? Like
Oh yeah.
it's like the
a-
Terminator,
Is that what
right?
that
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. Is it?
Okay. I don't know.
Should we Google that, or is that not worth
Nah, we'll-
I'm just
wasting our
gonna
time on?
pretend
we'll
that
just say that
I'll
it's
Google in the
true.
back-
I'm just
background
gonna
while you,
pretend
Alright.
that it's a H.P. Lovecraft.
That would be cool. Everyone's a
like,
horrific
horrific skin melting.
amalgamation
Yeah.
of flesh and.
This is a body
Yeah.
horror
That's
movie.
what I'm going. with.
Remember, we need to find the main server. Ericsson's plan, whatever it is, will be there.
And
They
Oh.
reach a room with a single server encased in glass. A biometric lock guards it.
the lock guards it. Okay. And how do we get past this?
With this synthetic skin, so it is a hellish
Ooh.
Lovecraftian thing. Q's newest toy.
He applies
Or is it a sexual thing again?
His newest.
It's like a fleshlight.
yeah,
no, it's like a condom, essentially, that he like puts
Oh.
on his
a thumb. Yeah,
it's a thumb condom.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
He
It's a
applies,
fleshlight.
He applies a layer of liquid skin on his thumb. It morphs into Ericsson's fingerprint. He places his thumb on the biometric lock and the glass
That's kind of cool.
case opens.
I did look up cybernetics, the science of communications and automatic control systems in both machines and living things. So I think cybernetics isn't necessarily
so Lovecraftian
Sure.
hellscape.
That's
If
what I'm
that's what
taking
you want.
away.
That's what you got.
Yeah.
James Bond should go. I mean, we're always,
We always
we're
are voting
gonna
for
push
this.
for these franchises to go
Yeah.
supernatural.
Yeah.
No matter how jarring that would be
Yeah.
in practice.
Don't put us in charge of any.
I mean, but
No.
how cool would it be if James Bond
Oh,
was like leaping
come
off
on.
of like a Cthulhu monster?
Even just James Bond in the future is cool enough, like James Bond in 2050.
But it's gonna be boring.
Of course.
They kind of did that with like Moonraker. They had like, laser guns,
which is
and
awesome.
Fights in space
Yeah.
and stuff.
They need to. I mean, we could save this discussion for later, but they need to get away from. They need to just do like one-off movies,
Agreed.
where it's like James Bond does this, and then there's a new actor, and then like get rid of the canon. Just
Right.
We don't care. No one cares.
One is set in the '60s, one is set
Yeah,
in
and,
2050s.
and certainly
one
we
is-
don't need any kind of like long serialized arcs with him and a wife or something.
We
over
know
the-
who James Bond.
No one
is.
cares.
Let's
Yeah.
Yeah,
put him in cool situations.
for sure.
M and Q watch as Bond and Trevelyan gain access to the main server.
They've done it.
Not yet. They still need to disable whatever Erickson is up to. Interior server farm. Trevelyan connects a laptop.
So they don't even know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
disable whatever he's up to. Like, it's some kind of cyber attack.
Well, this is how they end
I
up
don't
with
know.
their
This
plans.
is when they find out about
Okay,
the
okay,
Lovecraft
okay,
shit.
all right.
This is their.
I hope.
Can we
find
just
out.
tell it to?
No. I think we let
We
it
have to
It's
stay
already-
out of
exercise its creative
It's all the
juices.
way there.
We have to stay out of this.
All right.
Yeah. It's on a roll.
Trevelyan connects a laptop to the server. Lines of code scroll rapidly on the screen.
I'm in, but there's a problem. The system is rigged to self-destruct. I can stop the countdown, but not without triggering the alarm.
Then we don't have a choice. Stop the countdown.
Trevelyan,
What?
Trevelyan taps. He taps.
He taps that ass.
Bond?
I don't know. Everyone,
Bond's ass?
everyone's fucking in my envisioning of this.
I think our imagination is imbuing this with a little bit more than is on the page.
Nah, probably.
We'll see.
You never know with Chad, though. He's got that look in his eye that does suggest something to me.
A yearning.
A deep passion.
Deep passion and yearning. Trevelyan taps a series of keys and an alarm starts to blare. Doors around them begin to lock down. Interior headquarters. Night. Q's screens flash red as alarms trigger. M looks at Q with severe concern.
Get them out of there now!
Interior underground. Night. Trevelyan.
We have 60 seconds before this place goes on full lockdown.
Then let's not waste any.
They dash out of the room, but guards start pouring in. A high-stakes gunfight ensues. Bond and Trevelyan manage to hold them off, but time is running out.
The Muse song starts playing. No.
Yeah.
Interior MI6 headquarters. Q frantically types on his keyboard, trying to disable the Berlin facility's lockdown remotely. I can hold the door for 10 seconds, but that's all I can give them.
It will have to do.
Interior Berlin server farm. Just as it looks like they're about to be cornered, the lockdown doors suddenly halt for a few seconds.
Thanks, Q.
They dash through, barely making it out before the doors slam shut behind them. They sprint up the stairs and out the building. Interior Q's lab. Q and M let out a collective sigh of relief.
You'd better prepare their next mission. They've proven themselves today, but tomorrow is another day.
Understood. That sounds like the title of this movie.
Tomorrow is another day. Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's not bad.
That's
good.
pretty bad.
No,
bad.
isn't there another?
It sounds like all of
tomorrow.
it. Tomorrow Never Dies. Blah, blah, blah.
Exterior Berlin Industrial District. Night. Bond and Trevelyan get into their car, adrenaline still pumping through their veins.
You did good, Bond. Maybe you're ready for this life after all.
One mission at a time. What's next?
Next, we go back and prepare for the next unknown.
As they speed off into the Berlin night, both men know that this is just the beginning. The world is full of unknowns, and they're the ones who will face them head on. Why is all this stuff in the
Cut it some slack.
scene description?
Yeah, it likes to do this.
It does.
This is the thing where I can't figure out how ChatGPT does not know you aren't supposed to write this kind of like literary novel-ish kind of descriptions.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause that's
just,
something you beat new writers over the head
yeah, it's
with.
very mechanical. It should be something that it can learn.
It's too much subtext.
Yeah, but I don't want to criticize because, in my opinion, I think Chad has done a phenomenal job today.
Definitely.
He has performed.
We are proud of our
Our boy.
boy.
our
it?
our thing, if you will.
Yes.
So,
Continue.
Should we keep going?
I mean, is there more? That seemed like the ending.
I'd say like
maybe say
maybe-
write a climax or something like that. Right.
Let's skip ahead to the end.
Skip-
write a resolution scene.
Yeah.
Let's skip ahead to the end. Please write the climactic scene of the movie.
There you go.
And so ends the first chapter. What? Okay. Interior abandoned factory night. A sprawling industrial complex that's been converted into Ericsson's makeshift base. Bond navigates through it, clutching his gun. He's bruised, battered, but relentless. Trevelyan is tied to a chair in the center of the room, unconscious. Ericsson, calm and composed, stands near a large console, typing commands. Interior Q's lab. There's still... This is not a
climax.
The whole movie, M and Q are in this one room watching them.
Very budget conscious.
Through the entire thing, it just keeps cutting back to them. Commenting.
It's
It's
kinda
like
cute.
it's like Mystery Science Theater
yeah,
3000.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's very, very weird. Okay.
I'm also picturing like the two like Muppets that are like always.
Oh, the theater balcony,
Yeah.
old men, yeah.
M and Q watch multiple screens showing Bond's vitals and timer counting down from 5 minutes.
Ericsson's about to launch a virus that could cripple every defense system in the Western world.
I like that it's catching us up.
Yeah, that's good. It's doing some exposition.
Yeah.
But it knows that we need it
Right, because we asked.
because we asked to skip.
And Bond is our last chance to stop it. Interior abandoned factory night. Bond sneaks up and disards a guard, taking his radio.
Trillion, if you can hear me, I'm getting you out.
Ericsson smiles, having heard Bond's voice through a guard's radio.
So good of you to join us, Mr. Bond. I can't do a Swedish. I can't do that. It's just going to be whatever that was.
Good
Sorry.
enough.
It's fine. With a swift movement, Ericsson presses a button and spotlights illuminate the room. Bond is exposed. Interior Q's lab.
He's been made. Options?
I can disrupt the power grid. Give him a 10-second window.
Do it.
Interior factory. The lights flicker and go out. In the darkness, Bond acts fast. He takes down 2 guards and rushes towards Trevelyan, cutting his binds.
Move.
Lights return. Bond and Trevelyan are back to back, guns drawn, surrounded by Ericsson and his men.
It's over, Bond. You're too late.
And his men.
He's surrounded by men. It's over.
I think we
Bond.
missed a few beats here.
You're too late.
Ericsson hits a button. The timer on the console jumps to 30 seconds. Okay. Why didn't it just go? Okay.
I don't understand.
Interior headquarters, night.
They're out of time.
Interior factory.
You'll have to shoot me, Bond. I'm the biometric key. He can't launch without me alive.
And let Ericsson escape? No. We do this my way.
Bond suddenly throws a small device at the console. It's the same hacking tool he used earlier.
Just throws.
It's the same thing, though. You can't have different cool Q gadgets.
Yeah.
It's just the same.
Only one gadget. No.
All right. Okay, Chad.
Maybe that's the name of the James Bond movie.
What is it?
Only one.
Only
gadget.
one gadget.
Wait, I do want to picture what's happening here. So he's throwing it. I don't understand.
He has a small device.
And he just throws it.
It's like in the GoldenEye game where you just
Right.
like throw
You
the
hit the
hacking.
Z button.
Yeah, you just throw the.
Oh, wait a minute.
hacking
No.
device,
I think
and then
it's
it sticks to the
explained.
computer screen and then does.
And then-
I think
Yeah.
no. I think Chad is one step ahead of us because he's actually throwing it to Ericsson. That's what it's really happening here.
It does.
What?
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't why.
You're right, but why phrase it throws a small
Yeah,
device
yeah.
at the console?
No, I
Because
agree.
it's just generating the next most
Right.
likely word.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Whatever.
Catch.
Ericsson instinctively catches it. The device activates, sending a surge of electricity through him, disrupting the console. The countdown freezes. Interior headquarters night. Q&M watches the timer stops. He did it. He actually did it. Interior factory. Ericsson falls, unconscious. Bond and Trevelyan, despite being outnumbered, manage to take down the remaining guards in a spectacular gunfight.
Not bad for a rookie.
Let's go home.
They walk out, the camera panning to the frozen timer on the console.
Oh.
So wait. The young James Bond has proven himself. What happened to Trevelyan being a double agent?
Yeah, they forgot about that part
Wait, did they establish that in this?
in the
It was in
summary,
the
the treatment.
Oh, really?
But it's given up on that.
But that's also like
Which
that's
is
exactly
fine.
what happens in Golden.
That's fine. Yeah, I didn't need
Oh,
that, to be honest.
You thought he was a double agent, then he... Was it?
In GoldenEye, he actually is a
GoldenEye,
double
he is-
agent.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So it's a...
But in the script,
in-
in the screenplay, in the
in this one...
it was supposed to be that he was a double agent.
If anything, I think he's, ChatGPT is doing something good here. It's reversing what you expect. You kind of expect Trevelyan to be a double agent based on the way they have this little,
Why don't we ask it? Like, wasn't Trevelyan supposed to be a double agent? And then we'll see if what it says. Like, even if like it might not rewrite anything. It's like, oh yeah, oops, or if it just starts rewriting again. We don't have to read the next scene, but
My apologies for the
All right.
oversight.
So it is doing that. But personally, I like the way that it did it.
So
better.
it just forgot.
Yeah, it just forgot.
let's skim through. How did it reveal the?
Just take a
Daenerys
quick
kind of
look.
forgot about the Iron Fleet.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Let's just skip to the part where,
yeah.
like, wherever it revealed it. Let's just see what it does. Blah, 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 whatever. You were working with, okay. Trevelyan suddenly lunges at Bond, fighting him.
fighting him. They grapple, and Bond is in disbelief.
Wait a minute. I did what I had to do for Queen and country. I thought he was going against the country.
Should we tell Chad that the queen is dead?
I think let's
Should we
spare
break the
Chad
news?
that knowledge. Can Chad handle something like that?
Chad,
We have
cut
something
off-
to tell
it-
you.
It stops in 21, right?
Yeah, Chad doesn't know about
Chad
this.
doesn't know.
Okay.
Chad, we have something to tell you.
Queen Elizabeth passed away. I'm so sorry. I know that she meant everything to you.
We're here for you.
Like sometimes.
But can you keep writing the script?
Yeah.
We need to.
Yeah, and
we need
do-
to wrap
Get back
this
to
up.
work.
and do a better job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks. Interior Q's lab.
Okay. Do we trust him?
Who?
What? All right.
Trevelyan?
This
Bond?
went off the rails.
We threw him a curveball.
This went
That's
off
the thing,
rails.
I
This
think-
is- the first ending was way better than this.
When it was writing it scene by scene, I think it probably realized, not realized actually, but like was like, it just kind of like went in the direction that it
Yeah.
unfolded. if
You know, I
that
got to
makes
say, I
sense.
think this is the method we should use for all
Yeah,
movies
scene by
going
scene.
forward, where we start off with a few
Start with scene
scenes,
one.
and then we just say after.
I wish we realized that earlier.
Well, this is what this pod.
No,
is
that's
about.
what this podcast
Don't
is.
watch
we're
any
learning.
of the other
Yeah.
episodes.
This is a discovery.
Yeah.
This is, they were really bad.
They were so entertaining, but this one's like the most entertaining, but the other ones are like so entertaining.
Yeah, they're definitely not boring, so you should watch them,
yes.
Especially all the fine folks over at r/screenwriting.
especially the
Yes.
mods.
If you want to hear about that drama, tune
Yeah.
into our Oppenheimer episode.
yeah, reach out to us via mod mail.
Yeah. All
right.
Good luck
All right.
finding that.
So-
what that is.
So what's our takeaway here? How do we feel
This
about
is
this?
definitely the best one.
Easily the best.
By a
Country mile.
long shot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you think that is because we did it scene by scene, or its original treatment was actually kind of like setting up
It's
something
generic.
similar? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said from the
bar
from the
is low.
outset, Bond has a formula, maybe more than almost any series. So it's easier to follow the formula. Also, there's more existing material for it to cull through
That's true.
because
Yeah.
there's so
Decades.
many
That's
Bond
true.
movies compared to other franchises.
That's very true.
I wonder how much of a part any of those.
We'll see. You know, it's
things
hard to
played.
even compare. Like the only other franchise that's comparable that's major is Godzilla, which we'll probably do at some point. So it'll be interesting to see if that's also good. And we should also try, like we said, this method on something that doesn't have that kind of
Right.
history and see if it,
I'd be
performs well.
curious just in our own time to like circle back on one of our previous movies and just see what it comes up with if we did a
It's
scene
an
by
interesting
scene
idea.
thing.
Yeah, we could, by the way, down the line, do like Second Chance.
Yeah,
you know?
give it another
With
shot.
GPT-5.
GPT-5.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
Oh, God.
GPT-5. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's still generic. It's still kind of like, it feels like there's not really a lot of meat on the bone. Like it's
Right.
very like, here are the beats, here are the action
Right.
beats. but it at least feels like a movie.
Right. This
Now,
is one where, and I just want to weave something in briefly. Recently, it was established that basically AI works couldn't be copywritten, right? So the idea is that, anything that's, or registered, so anything that's an AI work, in the theory, has to then be rewritten in some way by a human, or some work has to be put into it by a human in order to be copyrighted, right?
I'm not totally sure how across the board true that is, because I know what was the case that like law was decided
I didn't
on?
really understand it either. Is it law, or is it part of the arrangement with the AMPT and whatever, the WGA?
That I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, that was something that was put forward. I don't know if it's actually a law, but it was suggested anyway that would be the
Or
case.
I think it was a
I think
decision.
it was a ruling.
It was a
ruling.
it was a court ruling.
Okay.
I just don't know what the case
Right.
was. But it could be a precedent for future
Okay.
rulings. But I don't know the particulars of it, but I don't think that it would like apply to, like, if we said,
Yeah.
write this, and we had it write it scene by scene, and we coached it a little bit,
Right.
and then we copy and pasted that, and it's our own thing. Like, I think you could copyright that.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Maybe
But
we'll
we'd
put
be
up for the
doing
next
something
episode
on
or
it. That's
something.
the point. We'd be doing some work on it. And basically what I'm saying is what's been given to us this episode, I can see actually being a template that someone could then expand into something
Right.
real.
You could flesh this
You
out.
could actually really make this into a movie. It might not be great, but you could legitimately turn it into a real movie.
It could be a movie that someone could shoot.
Exactly.
That people would
Also,
see.
first drafts suck even if you're a human screenwriter.
Even if you're a good human
Well,
screenwriter.
Yeah, they do, but do they suck this much?
Some could, definitely.
I mean,
many suck
screenwriter.
worse, yeah.
A good screenwriter wouldn't suck this
A good
hard.
screenwriter, no, but an average or bad screenwriter's
Yeah.
first draft could definitely
Yeah.
be this
So if
level
you
of
had the
bad.
human do draft 2 and 3,
Right.
maybe
Is that
draft
really
1.
saving you? I guess it's cutting
say
down.
It's
Yeah.
more saving you money
It's
that you
money,
have to pay that
yeah.
human screenwriter.
So then it's like, but then you get into the whole why become a screenwriter if you're not
Well,
going to make any
yeah,
money doing it,
fair
and
enough.
then you just ultimately over time you push all the human
Yeah.
screenwriters out, and no one wants to work
and then
for
eventually
you
it's just
because they don't
AI.
get paid enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not advocating for that as a good strategy. I'm just saying that this as a template, it's the first one where I look at it and I say that could, in theory, maybe become a real movie.
Someday, with a lot of help.
Yeah. With but maybe a future iteration of this software.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that is what going back to our screenwriting drama and like the sensitivity of people over
Mm-hmm.
AI tools. Like I feel like a lot of people do feel threatened.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to
Rightfully
do
so,
with
by
that.
the way.
Yeah.
It's totally valid.
Yeah, I mean, this
Threatened
can-
by this
scary.
technology. It threatens everybody.
This can absolutely write better than anyone on our screenwriting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And in the WGA.
Okay, wait a minute. Whoa.
We stand with the WGA.
We stand with everyone.
our,
We stand
our
with
brothers
our-
and
we
sisters in
stand-
SAG-AFTRA.
I love standing.
I stand by me.
We stand by us.
Sebastian
Yeah.
Stan.
Yeah. I like him.
I like him.
Yeah.
All right. Any closing thoughts?
No. I don't know.
I would watch a much better version of this.
I just wanted it to be supernatural, but
All right.
That's
Next
always
time
gonna be my
around, we'll
note.
get there.
Here's the thing: movies like this, like if I go to see, like a new James Bond, like if they actually made like a new James Bond series and it came out, I mean, they will obviously. I'm expecting it to, be good. Like Casino Royale blew my mind.
a certain quality, but
It was
yeah,
it's one of my favorite
associated
movies.
with the franchise.
But if this was just like a, I don't know, hot actor movie on Netflix
Just a
about
more
a spy
generic- right.
thing,
Heart of
and
Stone.
I'm just kind of putting it on the background while I do my work.
Yeah.
And it's like raining outside. I'm like, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
It'd be fun to have in the background, maybe
Sure.
with the right execution.
I mean, is this that much worse than The Gray Man?
Or Red Notice.
Yeah, those are exactly the kind of movies that AI can do. Though that very specific niche that you just
Right.
talked about, that's the sweet spot for this technology, I think.
you could also.
If anyone, if
You're welcome,
Zaz or
I'll say like as we were reading it, we were kind of like augmenting it with like sexual humor, like in a kind of a bizarre. Like I feel like you could like turn this script into a comedy script about
Yeah.
voyeuristic M and Q.
Yeah.
Well, that was the best
character.
part.
Well, yeah, it could
Like
act
that's
as
really
like
kind of a funny concept.
Yeah, it could act as like a brainstorming tool, honestly.
Right.
You just tell it, okay, hey, write this thing, and then like you just find the weird like
Yeah.
edge
Oh,
case
that's so
stuff
weird.
that it
Yeah, exactly.
and then you just like, oh no, lean into that. Like
Right.
and then think of that's a weird thing. Like but then
Right.
you go off and write that on your own, or like
That's
it gives you an
interesting.
idea that you wouldn't have otherwise had because you don't have something. Oftentimes with writing, the hardest part is just starting,
Yeah.
getting
Right.
something down.
Now I have a question. Would you watch a movie, like would you pay to go in the theaters to see a comedy movie about an M and a Q type character who are kind of just like
I mean, depends on
perversely,
how.
If
Right.
it, yeah, if it
Depends
was
on-
really
So
like
that sounds like a fun,
Yeah.
weird.
But it's not something we would have thought of
No,
if we had done
exactly.
this.
Right.
So that's a good use of this, as that doesn't seem disrespectful or like it's pushing out the writer.
Or gets us banned
From
on
certain-
our screen.
Certain subreddit.
I'm gonna be bitter about that.
Yeah, we're never letting that
continuing.
one go.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a recurring thing
Whatever.
Yeah.
until we get banned from a different subreddit.
Next time we try to
Next time
self-promote
we
on
submit
Reddit.
it. Yeah. All right,
right.
guys. Well,
think
it's
we're done
been
here.
fun.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
The name's Chat. Or sorry, the name's
The name's
Chad.
Chad. The name's Gepetti.
Gepetti.
Chad.
Chad Gepetti.
There you
That
go.
really rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.